Hey guys, Sohail here from Momo Cars. Today we're going to talk about renting a car. So we're going to talk about three different things about renting a car. One, price. We're going to talk about the booking requirements, and then we're going to talk about insurance. Three of the most common questions that come up when renting a car. So the first, the price. You can rent a car for a day, a couple of hours, a month, or even a week. If you're renting a car for multiple months, it's going to give obviously very financially burden on you, and it might not make a lot of sense. But generally speaking, so you know, to rent a traditional car for about a month takes about $850 at a minimum, and then it goes up from there depending on if you're adding insurance and what kind of vehicle that you want. Renting a car for a month is possible from a lot of the local places like Enterprise, Alamo, Avis, Budget, Rent-A-Car. These guys do have options for a month. You probably have to let them know just a little bit in advance so they can kind of plan for it. If you're renting a car for a day or a week, going on the websites for Enterprise or Alamo or Hertz is the best way of just getting the best rate. If you want to get a really good rate, you can use a third-party website that shops around all the prices for you for all the different local companies, such as Hotwire or Priceline. The catch with the third-party companies, they give you a lower rate, but they ask you to pay upfront. Versus if you went to enterprise.ca, for example, and you book a car for January, if you don't take that car in January, it's fine. There's no charge. Like, you're just booking a car is just kind of putting your name down, but not your credit card information. If you book it on a third-party website, they will charge you up front. So then you've paid it, you got a better rate, but you've paid it up front. There's no way of really canceling it, I guess you could say. So, second thing, we're talking about booking requirements. A lot of you guys are under the age of 25, and I used to rent cars a lot when I was under the age of 25, and what I've learned was they charge you a surcharge. There is an extra fee for renting a car if you're under 25. As long as you're between 21 and 25, it's still very easy to rent a car, but you're going to pay about $15 to $25 depending on which company per day extra, just because you're in that age group of higher risk. If you're under the age of 21, I'm 18 years old, I'm 19 years old, I'm 20 years old, most places won't rent a car to you, but there are some exceptions. There are certain companies that will, and it's not about just the company that will, it's the company will have certain locations that will. So Enterprise might not rent it to you in St. Catharines, but Enterprise at Pearson Airport will. The only real way is to call them and find out. The last thing I really want to talk about is insurance. The biggest thing that is offered to you when you're renting a car is insurance, and they're going to tell you everything in the world they can to convince you to buy insurance. It is a good idea. I mean, if you buy the insurance and something happens, you have that peace of mind. If you don't buy insurance and your car gets hit by somebody else, you still have liability. They still give you minimum insurance, which is the other person, if it's that person's fault, you're kind of covered. You buy extra insurance in case you ding your own car or something happens that was in your control and it was your fault. That's why you buy extra insurance. Do you need insurance if you have a credit card that has insurance coverage? A lot of people don't know this, but the credit card that you booked your car rental with will probably have additional features, additional benefits, which give you insurance coverage. You have to read the fine print or read the benefits of the card that you have to see if that's the case. If that's the case, there's almost no point buying insurance from the car rental company because you're paying for it here and you're paying for it there. So do a little bit more homework on how that works. But in the long run, if you learn it now, in the long run, you'll save a lot of money and not just keep buying insurance unknowingly. And use some of these advice and tips that I talked about booking a car much in advance to get a lower rate. To book a car for a trip that you might not even be taking or you don't know if you're taking yet, because you can lock in that cheap rate. If you book it 2 months in advance and you have no commitment. I do it for many times when I travel when there's a I don't know kind of situation. Lock that rate in earlier because the closer it gets to the date, 90% of the time, just like hotels, just like everything else, the prices are going up. That's all for today. I hope those three things will benefit you, and we'll get more detailed in one-way travel, booking a car, and dropping it off between different countries like US and Canada and a few other things in a future video. All right, take care, guys.